Let's now talk about islands. There are islands with an area of less than the Vatican City, sometimes claimed by 3 or even more countries. Seemingly insignificant islands hold strategic and economic treasure for countries. Every island offshore provides an avenue for military and naval bases. The 200 nautical miles area around the island's shores falling in a country's exclusive economic zone, which means that the particular nation can lay exclusive claim to all the resources available in this area. Now consider this. A country recently found that it has not one, not two, but over 7,000 islands which were previously not accounted for. The country which has hid the treasure is Japan. But Tokyo is not all that excited. We tell you why in our next report.
In 1987, when Japan last counted all its islands, the figure was 6,852. 35 years later, when it repeated the same exercise, the figure shot up to over 14,000. So Japan now has over 7,200 more islands than it previously thought it had. At a time when countries spat every now and then over laying claim to islands, Japan seems to have found a massive treasure trove. 7,200 new islands? Even if they are point size, this area under sea could be filled with priceless rare earth elements, or with millions of fish and other marine resources. The possibilities are endless. But Japan is not too excited. Why? Because this discovery does not increase Japan's overall area. You see, these islands are not new islands. These islands always existed and were already part of Japan's territory. So no new treasure for Japan, at least for now. But this raises another important question. How did Japan fail to account for over 7,000 islands for so long? Did it not know that the islands existed already? Well, it did, and let me make this clear. The new number does not include any artificially reclaimed land. So how did such a huge number of islands remain completely unaccounted for? Well, the answer is fairly simple. Japan just didn't count many of its islands as separate islands. When the Japanese Coast Guard counted the islands 35 years ago, the technology was not able to distinguish between small clusters of islands and larger individual islands. This means thousands of these islands were counted as one. But with technology leapfrogging by the day, the Geospatial Information Authority of Japan counted its islands with more detail in its latest survey. Also, in the years since 1987, volcanic eruptions contributed to the formation of new islands. We should also take a look at what is defined and internationally accepted as an island and what's not. Article 121 of the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea defines an island as a naturally formed area of land surrounded by water, which is above water at high tide. It does not specify that the landmass should be surrounded by sea. Hence, islands can be in rivers, lakes, and even ponds. But Japan's GSI marks only those as islands that have a circumference of 100 meters or more. It also omits islands found within lakes and rivers. In any case, Japan's new island count is of international significance because it provides an accurate depiction of its rights, as well as the rights of other countries within the region's waters.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.